Hello, and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today is episode number 526. The category will be the long-awaited sequel to the famous novels quiz from 2 days ago. This is Famous Novels number 2. This is a 20-question trivia quiz with a question 21 tiebreaker at the very end. All of the answers will be titles of classic novels. Good luck! Question 1. Beginning in 1815 and culminating in the 1832 June Rebellion in Paris, what Victor Hugo novel follows the lives and interactions of several characters, particularly the struggles of ex-convict Jean Valjean and his experience of redemption? The answer is Les Miserables. Question 2. Gregor Samsa leads a very lousy life. He hates his job, he hates his boss, and he doesn't like his family that much either. Just when it seems like things can't get any worse, he wakes up one morning and discovers that he has turned into a cockroach in what Franz Kafka novel? That novel is called The Metamorphosis. Question 3. A 1964 children's novel by British author Roald Dahl. What story features the adventures of young Mr. Bucket after he wins a marketing prize from the local confectionery factory of an eccentric chocolatier? The answer is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Question 4. Telling the story of 2 weeks in the life of 14-year-old boy Ponyboy Curtis and his struggles with right and wrong in a society in which he believes that he is not welcome. S.E. Hinton was only 15 when she started writing what coming-of-age novel? The answer is The Outsiders. Question 5. Young Edmond Dantes is about to become the captain of a ship, and he is engaged to a beautiful young woman named Mercedes. That all changes when he is falsely imprisoned in Chateau d'If for 13 years. In what Alexandre Dumas novel? The answer is The Count of Monte Cristo. Question 6. The plot line is loosely based on the biblical story of Cain and Abel. The story is set in 1917 during World War I and follows the intertwined destinies of the two families, the Trasks and the Hamiltons, in what 1952 John Steinbeck novel? The answer is East of Eden. Question 7. When Mary Lennox's parents suddenly die, she is sent to live with her uncle, Archibald Craven, on his remote country estate deep in the Yorkshire moors. While exploring, she discovers a hidden area of the property in what Frances Hodgson Burnett novel? The answer is The Secret Garden. Question 8. Set in London and in Paris, the famous opening line from what Charles Dickens' seminal novel on the years leading up to the French Revolution was, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times"? The answer is A Tale of Two Cities. Question number 9. A novel by the Russian author Leo Tolstoy, first published in book form in 1878, is considered by many writers to be the greatest work of literature ever written, and Tolstoy himself called what book his first true novel? The answer is Anna Karenina. Question 10. A Victorian scientist who claims that he has invented a device that enables him to travel through time and has visited the future, arriving in the year 802-701 in what had once been London, in what H.G. Wells novel? The answer is The Time Machine. Question 11. An ancient Chinese military treatise dating back from the late spring and autumn period, what book, which is attributed to the military strategist Sun Tzu, is composed of 13 chapters, each one is devoted to a different set of skills? The name of that book is The Art of War. Question 12. Focusing on 4 anthropomorphized animals, mole, rat, toad, and badger, who live in a pastoral version of Edwardian England, what children's book by British novelist Kenneth Grahame was first published in 1908? The answer is The Wind in the Willows. Question 13. An 1847 story by Emily Bronte, published under the pseudonym Ellis Bell, what novel features 2 families living on the West Yorkshire moors, the Earnshaws and the Lintons, and their turbulent relationships with the Earnshaws' adopted son Heathcliff? The answer is Wuthering Heights. Question 14. Broadly focusing on Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812, what 1867 Leo Tolstoy novel follows 3 of the most well-known characters in literature: Pierre Bezukhov, Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, and Natasha Rostov? The answer is War and Peace. Question 15. Featuring the characters Dagny Taggart and Hank Rearden, what was the title of the 1957 novel by Ayn Rand, her 4th and final novel? It was also her longest and the one she considered to be her magnum opus in the realm of fiction writing. The answer is Atlas Shrugged. Question 16. Featuring the extremely long-running lawsuit of Jarndyce and Jarndyce, what 1852 Charles Dickens novel is the story of the Jarndyce family, who wait in vain to inherit money from a disputed fortune in the settlement? The answer is Bleak House. Question 17. Loosely based on the lives of the author, Louisa May Alcott, and her 3 sisters, what story follows the lives of the 4 March sisters, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy, and details their passage from childhood to adulthood? The answer is Little Women. Question 18. What children's novel by J.M. Barrie follows the adventures of the Darling children and a new friend who convinces Wendy Darling and her brothers to come to Neverland with him and his fairy, Tinkerbell? The answer is Peter Pan. Question 19. What 1726 novel by Jonathan Swift is an adventure story involving several voyages of Lemuel, a ship surgeon who ends up on several unknown islands living with people and animals of unusual sizes, behaviors, and philosophies? The answer is Gulliver's Travels. Question 20. What 1957 novel by American writer Jack Kerouac is based on the travels of he and his friends across the United States and is considered a defining work of the post-war beat and counterculture generations? The answer is On the Road. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. When I started writing the famous novels trivia quiz earlier this week, I did not have any intention on doing a part 2, but once I started looking up famous novels, classic literature, you don't realize how many good books are out there, and I need to start reading more because I kept coming across these books that I'd heard the stories or I've seen the movies of, or I read the books when I was younger, and I thought, man, I need to read those again. There are so many good books out there that I could definitely do a famous novels part 3, and I may sometime in the future, but for now we'll skip ahead. We'll get back into some different categories just in case literature isn't your thing. We'll jump right into some new categories and some random categories again, so there's a little something for everybody. Thank you guys for staying with me. Thanks for watching all the quizzes. Even if literature isn't your thing, maybe you can learn a little bit. Maybe you can pick up some answers for the next time you're playing live trivia. That's the whole idea of the channel. Make everybody a little bit smarter. Anyways, question 21, the tiebreaker. Hopefully you know the title of it. You definitely have seen or read this story before. Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by a series of ghosts, starting with his old business partner, Jacob Marley, and followed by 3 more. The ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas yet to come, in what 1843 Charles Dickens classic? The name of that book is A Christmas Carol. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a great week. See you tomorrow.